are ignored and disregarded by the county executive under the watchful eye, cover, and protection of the governor. The county assembly summons witnesses to appear before it, or members of the executive. They do not heed such summons. What redress is the county assembly left with, other than coming before you? This house is a protector of devolution, and we beseech you to protect devolution that is on its deathbed in Meru. We will demonstrate, honorable senators, countless discreditable acts, all of which amount to gross violation of the Constitution and other laws, abuse of office, and gross misconduct. Of course, there is, and I'm not belittling what my learned senior said, that money has been lost, but there's a lot of misinformation out there that for you to prove or to succeed in an impeachment process or for an impeachment charge to be upheld, you need to show that money has been lost or there is misappropriation. And I'll refer you to Article 181 of the Constitution and its replica in Section 33 of the County Governments Act. The Constitution talks about gross violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct, or abuse of office. That provision, Honorable Speaker, is to be read holistically, is to be read together with Article 75 of the Constitution, which talks about conduct of state officers. And I'll read that provision, Honorable Speaker, that a state officer shall behave whether in public official life or in private life in a manner that does not demean the office that state officer holds. That is the provision. So it is not just a matter of misappropriation or loss of money. Your conduct as a state officer, whether in public, official life, or private life, would equally meet the threshold for impeachment. And I will not state names, but we have seen in this very republic gross misconduct by state officers elsewhere. And they have been held to account, notwithstanding that there was no loss of money. Honorable Speaker, we will show you specific acts by the governor in our own name. And therefore the defense of "it wasn't me" does not avail itself. Of course, attempts have been made by the governor to deflect these specific acts on our part, including through forgery of documents. And those documents have been filed, and they're before you, Honorable Senators. And those documents, which the County Assembly contends are outright forgeries, are meant to doing this Honorable House and to deflect the attention of this House from the real issues. And the real issues, for example, that forgery relates to a specific act by the governor in revoking the appointment of the CEO of the MERU County Public Service Board. But letters have been forged to cover up and to drink this Honorable House, to divert attention from that specific act in our own name, by our own signature, and under our own hand. We are going to demonstrate, Honorable Speaker, that the governor has persisted in a path of impunity through the county secretary and the chief of staff. And this has been raised in previous impeachment proceedings. The governor said it wasn't me. But luckily, Honorable Speaker, the law envisages such a situation as the one before you, where a state officer, a public officer, says, "It wasn't me, it was so-and-so." Section 24 of the Public Officer Ethics Act and Section 35 of the Leadership and Integrity Act is about the conduct of a state officer acting through others. And those provisions are expressed that public officer is still liable for the acts that are done through others. So, even if that act was done by someone else, the law envisages that acting through others is not a defense to certain acts by the state officer. What recourse, Honorable Speaker, does the County Assembly have if it made recommendations pursuant to previous impeachment proceedings that the governor take action against these specific officers? The governor disregarded those recommendations of the Assembly. The governor ignored those resolutions. So should the County Assembly sit pretty as this cabal of officers continues to run MERU down, or to take MERU down the drain? These officers must be stopped in their tracks, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the events leading to this day, the fact that this motion is before you is what I would call an act of grace. It is by the grace of God himself and the County Assembly as an opportunity to be heard before this House today. There have been many threats, intimidation, and attempted arson of the County Assembly on the eve of the debate of the impeachment motion. And this is the County Assembly that is expected to oversee the governor. Clearly, Honorable Speaker, all attempts have been made to hamstring the County Assembly in the exercise of its oversight mandate, and even to hamstring this House in the exercise of its oversight mandate. We were told at some point that the County Assembly and even this House do not have jurisdiction, and we should appear before Nyorincheke for hearing of the charges. The governor, of course, will tell you, Honorable Speaker, that the County Assembly is abusing its oversight role, and that the County Assembly has been held captive by some external forces. But my question, Honorable Speaker, is how is that an answer to any of the charges? For instance, how is that an answer to the charge or the allegation that the governor illegally revoked the appointment of the CEO of the MERU County Public Service Board under our own hand and signature and name? How is this purported capture by external forces a response to these specific allegations against the governor? Many other attempts will be made, Honorable Speaker, to deflect or to divert attention from the real issues. Videos will be played by some common man or ordinary people in MERU, even abusing this Honorable House, abusing the Speaker, abusing the senators, saying that this is a house of greed and bribery. But how is that an answer to the specific charges? And all these videos are not by members of the County Assembly, they are not by elected leaders, they're just by wannabes, or whatever you may call them, but probably even political activists. There is a real attempt to shift your attention from the issues that are in the motion, so that you consider other extraneous material that is not in any way associated with the County Assembly, and to pass a verdict. Of course, one that is not just to the County Assembly. Authority that is vested in a state officer, Honorable Speaker, is a public trust. And pursuant to Article 73, it should be exercised in a manner that promotes confidence, public confidence, in the integrity of that office. And it should bring honor and dignity to that office. It should equally demonstrate respect for the people. We are going to play video evidence before you of some utterances by the governor that are not only insensitive, but they do not demonstrate, they actually fall short of the constitutional requirement that a governor in his or her conduct should demonstrate respect for the people. All these allegations, Honorable Speaker, fall within Chapter 6 of the Constitution, and specifically Article 75, which provides that any person who is involved in conduct that falls short of the constitutional requirements may be dismissed or otherwise removed from office. So this is not a novelty, or this is not an invention of the County Assembly. This is the Constitution. The Constitution says that such conduct is not only to be rebuked or to be condemned, but it is conduct that amounts to grounds for removal from office. Honorable Speaker, the governor will take, of course, the underlying tone of the governor's response, and that is the posture that she will take when she takes the stand, is that she's a victim of misogyny, a victim of male chauvinism, a victim of toxic masculinity, and all these other gender attacks against her. And even in her own even in her response, she says that she's a woman governor, and we appreciate that. It is the people of Meru who elected her, including the men in Meru County. Some of them are even here. Some others are members of the assembly. But is gender a shield? Should your gender be a cover that you cannot be held account because you're male or you're female? Is that it, Honorable Speaker? As a panel of Honorable Speaker, is the issue of the threshold for impeachment. And the Supreme Court has had occasion in the Sonko case to state with precision the threshold requirement for impeachment proceedings. And the Supreme Court has stated, Honorable Speaker, that the threshold is not the threshold required to prove criminal culpability in criminal cases. It is not the threshold of beyond reasonable doubt. It is the threshold of above a balance of probability, but below reasonable doubt. So therefore, that intermediate standard of proof, Honorable Speaker, through the various exhibits and testimonies that we are going to play before you and present before you, is a threshold that would not only be met, but the County Assembly will equally discharge the burden on its part in line with that interpretation by the Supreme Court. Another question, Honorable Speaker, is what amounts to grossness. The Constitution talks about gross violation of the Constitution and gross misconduct. And therefore, the Supreme Court, while quoting the decision in MATIANG'I from the Court of Appeal, clarified that one, the allegations must be serious, substantial, and weighty, and that there must be a nexus. Honorable Speaker, specific acts done by the governor, other acts done through officers who are working under her, and her watchful eye, cover, and protection. All these are specific acts attributable to her. She's disregarded resolutions of the Assembly to take action against them, and therefore it must be that they were doing those illegal acts under instructions. Honorable Speaker, we are going to demonstrate through our various pieces of evidence that the County Assembly has no recourse but to turn to this House for redress and to redeem devolution that has clearly died in Meru. Because for how is a governor that is at war with doctors, that is at war with members of the Assembly, that is at war with the church, that is at war with contractors, how is this governor? A governor that has even shifted contracts that are supposed to be done by the people of Meru, or even other Kenyans, to the national government, while devolution is about taking resources to the county. How is this governor supposed to deliver for the people of Meru? That is all, Honorable Speaker. Thank you for listening to me. My line is in, Mr. Ndeo can take the remaining minutes.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. In summary, Your Honor, Mr. Speaker, sir, Honorable Senators, joining issues with the submissions made by my learned friend, and especially on the issue of the attempted arson. It is not a coincidence that attempts to burn down the County Assembly of Meru was done at night of the 8th of August, 2024, when this Senate was seized when the County Assembly was seized with the impeachment motion. It's not a coincidence that individuals have actually been charged before the court of law as a result of that attempt. Honorable Senators, the proposals being made out there, some of which are constitutional, including the dissolution of the county government of Meru, is not a solution to the problem that we have. Why? Because we have identified the problem. The problem is one individual, Governor Kawera. We have identified the problem is a problem of mismanagement. We have identified the problem is a problem of accountability. We have identified the problem. The problem rests with Governor Kawera. Service delivery has been compromised. We'll play to you videos of babies being born outside a health center, being born in a karai. At 11 o'clock in the morning, when you expect the facility to be fully functional, the facility is closed, no service is being delivered, expectant mother delivering inje outside. The people of Meru County expected that with the inception of devolution and with health sector being apportioned to the county government of Meru, that they will have proper stewardship, that they'll have proper managers, that they'll have people who care about the health status of the people of Meru County. As we speak, there is no explanation that has been ever given by the governor why expectant mother will have to deliver outside a facility, why a woman has to give birth in a karai ya maji. That is a pathetic situation in Meru County. No explanation has been given, no apology has ever been given by the governor, no actions has ever been taken to ensure that such action is not or does not occur. No disciplinary actions taken in respect to that particular facility. So that is the case for the County Assembly. We urge you, honorable senators, to listen to us, to give us time to substantiate the simple charges that we shall place before you, honorable senators. It's a case of mismanagement. It's a case of unaccountability. It's a case of bad governance. It's a case of a governor gone rogue. It's a case of victimization of the officers serving under the office of the governor or serving under the office of the governor. It's a case of making sure that systems clogs to the benefit of few individuals. That is the simplicity of our case, honorable governors. We'll present you with evidence, concrete evidence, honorable senators, to prove that simple case. The case that meets the threshold as enshrined under Article 181 and as read together with Section 33 of the County Government Act is a case about the status of the governor of the Meru County government. As I pen off, honorable speakers, some of the proposals being made can be resolved with actions being taken before this Senate. Most obliged.
We now invite the Counsel for the Governor to proceed to make your opening statement.